Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Where Is This Going? I'm your host, Hunter Miles, and this is Where Is This Going? A podcast about artists you may not know yet, but hopefully will soon grow to appreciate at the very least. Uh, Thank you guys so much for returning. If you're returning, if this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Apple, iTunes, whatever you're listening on. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @_Hunter Miles and on TikTok at Hunter Miles Comedy. And you can also follow your next comedian on the Instagram and TikToks and the Twitters. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Justin Chupp. Yeah, you're the only one. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me.
Of course, thank you for returning.
Yeah.
You've been a guest in every studio that we've had, which is just the two. But thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
back.
I think last time we did it out there.
I think so. Yes. Wait, Jackie, did we get the tags for Justin? All right, cool. Where can we tell the audio listeners to follow you at?
Straight white mayo, wherever you're looking.
Still
straight white mayo. I'm thinking about changing it to straight white mayonnaise. So,
Well,
it
is a step
I just need a
up.
rebranding.
Yeah.
I need people. I like everything that's happened over the last year. I need to bury that. They need to leave that person behind.
Well, also straight white mayo was even that was a later iteration of your year too.
that's
So,
true.
Other people, I think you've had multiple. Chup Daddy was your last one on this podcast.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
And the ones before that, probably.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Sometimes you go from being the first black comic in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to just being another white guy.
Yeah, sometimes that's how you got to roll, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you were never the former.
Well, it's not the worst transition. I mean,
Right. There's
it's a give and take.
there's been worse. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I would like to move on.
Okay. Anyways, again, thank you guys so much. You can also is your TikTok straight white mayo as well?
Yeah.
All right. You need to change something up. But anyways,
What's that mean?
you guys remember Justin as a Grand Rapids comedian. He's one of the grandfathers now of Grand Rapids comedy, and that's just because he's one of the oldest active members in the scene.
Yeah.
And he's not that old, actually.
No.
But Godfathers. Should we say Godfathers or grandfathers? He gets both.
I don't have the power, I don't think.
Of a Godfather?
No, I'm like a grandfather that like the grandfathers that have like psoriasis on their upper ass cheeks, and they're like their pants no belt will fit. Like they're still gonna be down. They're still gonna.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why you can still see the psoriasis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I am. I am the psoriasis-assed.
Grandfather.
Yeah.
Usually doesn't come out of the bedroom very often. So when you see him wandering about the house, it's actually a treat.
Yeah. I have rashes.
Currently, is this metaphor? Is this a metaphor or is this
No. Like
an admission?
no, I have rashes. They have nothing to do with being in my bed. I was just letting you know.
Just bed rash. Okay. Anyways,
No, not bed rash.
No, I get it. Not bed rash.
Okay. Do you know any dermatologists?
Not off the top of my head.
Shout out to Jackie, by the way. Jackie was watching when we came in here. It was caves. What was that shit?
Not today, but often.
God damn it! I was trying to lie.
No,
to
it's
the
all
audience.
right, dude. I got it. We can be honest with people. No, Jackie was watching a terrible voiceover of horrible stories earlier today that involved murder. But usually she's watching horrible cave disasters.
What's it called?
These
though?
are
What's the name of it?
I don't. Jackie, do you have the name? Cave
exploration gone.
Cave exploration's gone wrong, and it sounds so enticing. I'm sure, as you would all agree, but it's never. So their videos, I believe, on YouTube. They are on YouTube, but they're never any video of the cave exploration, no documentation like that. It's just voiceover over pictures.
So, like, what are the pictures? What happens in these cave? Like, people get stuck.
People usually get
they
stuck.
fall and get impaled by a stalactite. Is that something that happens?
I believe it'd be a stalagmite. I don't know. I haven't watched a ton, but
T for top. You might be right.
Sometimes they just get trapped in areas, and then like the cave will flood, things like that. But the pictures are always just like of maybe the group before they explore, of of the rescue groups going after them to now find them, or just of like the overall landscape of what's.
So
where
do we
they
know
are.
that any of this is true?
No, I'd assume it's actual. It's probably like documented.
Oh, okay. Did you know that in what's that cave down there, Mammoth Cave in Kentucky?
I know nothing of it, but go on.
It's the biggest cave in the world, the longest. It's like 400 miles. And
I'm not much of a spelunker.
yeah. Well, there used to be doctors that would they would put people in there who had like infectious diseases, and they were doctors that had like sections of the cave.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. No, I'm intrigued now. Please continue.
I don't.
Oh, is that
I
the
realized
end of
that I
your
learned
knowledge?
something last time I went to Mammoth Cave.
Yeah, and you
And
weren't.
I don't even know if it's what I said.
Yeah, you weren't complete.
Something was happening in the caves. Okay.
You were not completely listening
you
during
fucking
this
believe that?
presentation.
Would you believe?
What you were explaining almost sounded like the melon heads here in West Michigan.
What are the melon heads?
Oh, you're not aware?
No.
Here's Conspiracy Corner. The melon heads are believed to. This is my knowledge. This is my take on the legend that be. The melon heads were believed to have, I believe, been orphans or just patients over there at Felt Mansion, where there used to be another building to house patients. I don't know if it was Dr. Felt. I doubt it. It was Dr. someone, though. Anyways, back in the day, it was also rumored to be an insane asylum. And then when but the Melonheads, that's what I should assume, I guess, address. The Melonheads were children, apparently, who were born with, like, waterlogged heads. And so they were in the shape of a melon.
And the doctor was like, the name for this is a melon head.
Yes, a melon head. Obviously, they were not very kind in the 1800s. I don't remember when.
Okay. Yeah.
But so they were obviously ostracized from society, sent to this asylum, and then when the asylum closed, apparently they were released into the cave system that exists beneath Saugatuck, and that's where they colonized and lived to this day, except for when they come up for food. So, yeah, I believe that's the legend. If I'm wrong, hey, why don't you comment below or send us an email over there at whereisthisgoingpod@gmail.com.
So they're all cohabitating. How many of these were there? First of all, what
You're going to ask me a lot of
this
questions?
do we know is
Okay.
true? Like, how much, up to what point do we know is fact?
I don't know. Jackie could try to Google it. She doesn't have to, of course, because, I mean, I'm not going to demand more of her than she's capable.
Right.
But to my knowledge, I know there was another building. This is how much I know. I know there was another building at Felt Mansion that is no longer standing. That's literally all I know.
Do we know that there was ever one melon head for sure?
I'm sure there's pictures, so yes.
There are pictures. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah,
And so these people are supposed to be all cohabitating, like intermingling, having incest babies.
Yep, that's
Or
to be.
well, I don't want to. Yeah.
Like they didn't start as incest babies, probably, but then you can
push comes to shove.
exactly
and
when
you
you
end up
only have
incest.
so many people.
Yeah.
Everyone's your cousin at least.
Now you're having kids with heads that look like gourds. Like, what's that about?
Yeah, I mean, I
Wow,
doubt.
how you can't
The
keep
thing is, I
bloodline.
doubt it was actually like a genetic disease. So I'm sure like some of them like had kids, and the kids were fine, and then the kids were like, "Why am I still down? I can go out there. I don't look like you."
Oh, good point.
But also, they were all they knew, so they would probably feel weird for how they looked if anyone had a mirror.
Could you imagine getting tucked in
With
as a kid?
as a kid looking up at the melon.
Big old melon.
That's a big old melon.
Did they have like, was their brain fucked up, or was there just a lot of water around it?
To my knowledge, I would imagine a waterlogged brain isn't good either.
What if it's outside the skull though?
I don't know the full anatomy.
Okay. Because if the water's outside the skull,
I'm sure there's a leak in those bones somewhere.
then yeah. They probably sweat a lot.
I don't know how that comes into play at all.
I don't know either, to be honest. But
Okay, so yeah, it's folklore of Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut. So apparently we all share the same waterlogged head issues.
wow. Okay. Well,
But-
so somebody tried to make an escape to like Europe or something, and
Something
then
in
ended
the
up in
water.
Connecticut somewhere.
Look
How
at
did?
this.
Whoa.
All right, here's a one from, what is this? Melonhead's Villains Wiki fandom. I just wanted to give my sources if high school taught me anything. The legend in Holland, wow, I can't read. Apparently, if high school taught me anything, in Holland, Michigan, children with the head enlarging disease, hydrocephalus. Yeah, I think I got that right. Were locked away in an asylum, but were released in the 70s. Now they are said to be feral and hide in the forests nearby. And if you stand still in the area, you can supposedly hear feet running. And as such, I don't know if I used that phrase correctly, as such, but but we in high school went melonhead hunting out in Saugatuck, like out in, it's like Douglas, but between Saugatuck and Holland, for those in West Michigan who know what's up. Anyways,
What did you so you went melon hunted, like what did you bring with you?
I brought, I'm so glad you asked. I brought I believe it was a long Phillips head screwdriver and my lacrosse stick, defensive end, like a defensive pole with no like butt on the end.
Yeah.
So it was kind of sharp.
You never know. Some of them might be upper middle class.
Yeah.
You bring them out and they'll want to play some lacrosse, dude.
Right. And I think she's like, y'all got a ball we can toss around? No, I was going to use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, my other friends brought, I think someone had a crowbar or something. But yeah, and so I
I
think
feel like you could just bring a safety pin. You'd be all right.
from just to poke them in
We'll
the head.
poke, we'll
If you
poke-
look at the picture,
it's just like a stream coming out.
if
of
we look at
water.
the picture, and Jackie, I'll save this to you. Maybe we can add it in post. If you look at the picture, it looks like their skull is also just enlarged as well.
Yeah, it looks. Their head looks like a parachute, basically.
Yes, that's almost exactly correct.
Or
Their
a
head
hot
looks
air
like-
balloon.
Her head looks like a hot air balloon. She built like a hot air balloon with that head.
with that watermelon head.
All right.
Or
Yeah,
maybe it's a.
there was a lot of stuff. Like we went ghost hunting as well. At what's it called? Why am I completely blanking? It's north of Grand Haven. Jackie, throw out some names. Well, you know.
Fern.
No, maybe not north of Grand Haven. Maybe just south of Grand Haven.
West Olive.
No, you're close though. It's around that area.
That's all I got.
Dude, I am completely blanking.
So you went ghost hunting at a place
Yeah, at a cemetery
in Michigan. At a cemetery.
At
Okay.
a cemetery in Michigan, and we were looking for. Nope, we were looking for the Bond. Mr. Bond was his name. In the cemetery that is Nunica Cemetery.
Oh, Unica. That's north.
Yeah, that is apparently haunted. So check it out, Nunica Cemetery. That is apparently haunted. We were looking for Mr. Bond, whose grave is supposedly haunted. We saw some like weird Orby type shit while we were in there. So I mean, it was creepy almost every time I've been there. So is it haunted? You
Probably.
be the judge. But yeah.
Do you know the story of Dudgeon Swamp? Have I ever told you this?
Dudgeon?
Dudgeon Swamp.
Dungeon.
Dudgeon. It's a person's name, okay? It's not my fault.
So it's not the word dungeon.
No.
Okay. Well, all right. Go on.
Do you know of any, like, just, have you ever been on Trulia and seen a fucking dungeon for sale in Michigan? Why would there be a dungeon swamp?
You could find. Also, something could be nicknamed Dungeon Swamp. You understand that as well? Also, yeah,
but it's not, and you had a problem. You had a problem with me.
I didn't have
for
a problem.
Second.
I said dungeon, and you then you said dungeon.
No, I did not.
And then I said, "What are you saying?"
I very strongly disagree, and
but
I hope that I'm not. I mean, this is going to be. It's all going to come out here in a few weeks.
But what I'm saying is
the facts.
When I said dungeon correctly, you should have just said yes.
Yes, I didn't know.
Instead of repeating yourself again.
Anyway, so Dudgeon Swamp. So there's a story about it's in White Cloud, right? It's old state property.
Yeah.
And these folks came into. They came into.
These folks. The head movement. With
these folks came into White Cloud. In
the Dudgeons?
The Dudgeons, yeah. Now, they're a rowdy bunch. People didn't like them. The guy would get in a fight with the neighbors, disappear into the woods where he lived, back in the swamp area. Had a couple of kids, and there was just a whole lot of fucked up incest shit happening back there. There was an older brother, and he kept sleeping with the sister, and they kept having babies. And then the dad
that happens
kept slamming them on the side of a barn.
Oh, the babies?
Yes. And so, and then they died.
Is this pre-Roe v. Wade?
This is like 1902.
So, yeah, I think pre-Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
And when you have no choice, if anything, this is an ad. Go ahead.
Like, if they would have just had a Planned Parenthood in the neighborhood back in 1902, back out there in the woods, man.
In Whitehall?
Could have got a safe and effective
You mean this
abortion.
was a backwood abortion?
Yes. Lots of them.
Lots of them. Well, they're also inbred. So.
Well, they weren't abortions. It was murder of a baby.
Yeah. No, this one's actually murder.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, eventually the brother kind of like lost it and hanged himself inside that barn. And
it's a real feel-good story.
Yeah. So there's it's haunted. It's haunted. Apparently, I had some friends go out there, and there's like a video. They had their phone out like this, and they were taking a video of it because as soon as they went past the gate,
right,
you could see like the radio just went. You couldn't hear anything, right? But then there were like little water droplets, like just dropping on the video of the phone, like someone. Because you remember those old like LCD phones that would have like you'd touch them and it'd be like a water droplet. The whole thing, it was just like little water droplets, and I was like, I fucking told you guys, that's why I'm not going out there, but they all went.
Some people like to venture into the scary, the unknown.
Yeah,
you're a little pussy boy.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah,
it's all right, and you know what? That's a survival tactic that will keep you here. That's how you're still here.
Probably, dude.
Being a pussy keeps you alive. And that's a message for the kids.
Yeah.
I want a more rainbow above me. Anyways, we still haven't gotten into our first segment of how was your last set. How was your last set, Justin? Where'd you go up last?
I just did a mic at Tip Top. Does that count, or should we do the last
No,
okay.
No, it's good.
That was bad. Wasn't really prepared. I went up there and said a good 45 seconds of stuff that really the crowd was like, "Are we okay with this guy?" And so when that happens, I usually can save myself by picking a table in the room and
trying to
find some young folks and say, hey, you guys, our points of view as in our 30s, they kind of become expired. So so we gotta get this answer from you guys. Something we've all been needing to know. Black people or Jews? What do you think?
Exactly.
Crushed. And I was like, all right, I got him back,
I will be honest.
but only for that second.
I will be honest. The black people that were sitting behind me, not digging it too hard.
Well, the ones in front of him were okay with it.
All right, cool. Hell yeah,
So-
dude. And if you split the black people 50-50, you're winning still.
Listen, there are some black people out there for sure, I bet, that if you take their advice 100% of the time, you will be racist if you're white.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, are you saying there's racist black people?
No. I'm saying I'm
Okay.
saying if they were white, they would be racist. If those black people were white, they would be racist.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand, but I do want to acknowledge the fact that black people can also be racist.
Against black people?
No, I'm saying they can hold Oh, well, okay, yeah. Duh. If you're talking about black people having opinions about other black people, duh.
Right.
We
But
know
that makes
that.
them racist if they have
No,
bad.
no.
Okay.
I was saying black people can be racist against other race groups.
Oh, like yeah, one time I was in one time I was in a liquor store.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, so you get it.
you know how that shit goes down, dude. You know who's behind the counter and who's on the other side? Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes.
Do you remember?
Not all the time.
Do you remember that video of that little black kid yelling at that Asian cashier?
Yeah.
That was an old video.
Was that a real video though?
I have no clue to this day. I have no clue. I would imagine it's not at this point.
Okay.
Anyways, my last set was also last night at Tip Top. I did Garage Bar before too. Shout out to Joseph Johnson, Alex Plotkowski for hosting the Tuesday night double dips here in Grand Rapids. My set went probably maybe a little bit better than yours, I guess. I didn't feel like I had that type of reaction.
No.
But I left my notebook at work, and guess what? I did it again today. So I'm going up tonight without my notebook again. And I stopped keeping as many notes in my phone, so I don't. This isn't my comedy notebook really anymore. Anyways.
I was like, you better fucking explain yourself right now, dude.
No, this notebook I keep around for random notes and podcast shit.
Sick.
I need you. But yeah, I had more fun because I did some older bits mixed with the newer ones that are like fresh in my head that I'm really working on. Yeah, and it was a bit fun just because they're still loose and shit. But yeah, I'm trying more and more not to get mad at the crowd. James Brown and I, shout out comedian James Brown Jr. No relation. He and I were talking about the difference between doing black rooms and doing mainstream rooms. That's the distinction, by the way. Mainstream versus black comedy. And I heard Ian Lara talking about it on Stavi's World, Stavros Halkias' podcast. But basically, when it comes to you've also made a venture into black rooms before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it basically comes to you can write jokes, you can write great jokes all you want, but they're not gonna listen to that.
You better deliver, dude.
You better deliver, but you better make an impact on the crowd first.
Yeah.
You better make a connection with the crowd about what's going on in the room, or just like what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a traditional setup punch.
No.
That's never going to win you across.
But if you hit that, that's the biggest laugh you're ever gonna get. You know what I mean? Like not ever, but I'm just saying like.
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest type of laugh I feel like almost.
Right.
You know, you get that first one. Yeah. Address the thing in the room.
Exactly.
Ooh boy.
And then you would get them on your side, and you can basically do whatever you want. Like JBJ was talking about Dwayne Kennedy. Dwayne Kennedy coming into Ambrose. Shout out James Brown Jr. and Ambrosia Theater. I'll be there this Saturday, but this podcast will come out after this. But you'll see a lot more showcases there. with a ton of great talent and a lot of like headliners coming through over at Ambrosia Theater over there in East Town. But yeah, check them out, ambrosiatheater.com. But Dwayne Kennedy came through and like started in with like just his jokes, his written setup, like his stuff, and the crowd not giving him anything. So he switched it up, just like talking about like you niggas acting broke or blah blah blah, niggas acting ignorant and shit, and then started killing. He's like, all right, now I'm gonna go back into my shit, and then was able then to just perform what he wanted to, just because it's about. You have to earn the trust of a black crowd way harder than mainstream crowd, because I don't know why. I don't know why. Why is it so hard to please black people? Go ahead. Please tell me. Tell me why.
It's just slavery. I think
you're probably right.
If it wasn't for that, I think black folks would be easier to please.
Yeah, I think they'd just be like chill or.
Yeah,
I agree. Anyways, Justin is here.
Why did you do that to me? Why?
Justin is here. He's been formally introduced. I think the last time you were here, I'm not sure.
Yeah, might
have been in association with comedy and stuff going on in Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
under the umbrella of Full House Comedy, which is no longer.
No.
And I know that we're not the first, we were the first podcast to mention Full House Comedy. We have not been the first podcast, however, to mention Full House Comedy in a negative way.
Right.
Because there's I don't know if anyone's a fan of the podcast Flagrant, but they talked about it briefly. I'd say let's cut to a clip, but I'm not going to go dig for it, although I do remember what episode and about how far it is. That's in the archives. Any Jew. Explain yourself.
No, you know what?
I'm kidding.
Whatever you got. I'm actually like,
yeah.
I've been wanting to talk about this because it's a weird situation. It's a weird situation to be in. I was there for a while before like the new year started, which is when things started actually popping off, right?
Yeah.
So just doing some like journeyman type work and stuff.
Right.
But
just all around like whatever's needed.
Yeah.
So Full House recently closed its doors. I don't know. They never had a venue, so can't really say closed their doors. They stopped doing business. The Annie Letterman show, which thank you guys if you came out. Thank you for coming out to that show. I know it's not my place to thank you, but
I think it is. It's fine.
You saw me if you were there, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was the last show that they did, basically, and like I was saying on this podcast, like hopefully for Ryan Sickler, I did not get to perform on those shows because those dates were not carried out by Full House. Another production came in. I got to meet and talk with Ryan, and his producer Kirsten was there, which was really cool because she's one of my favorite producers in LA podcasting. She produces The Honeydew, which is Ryan Sickler's podcast, and the Josh Potter Show. Any Jew. But yeah, so they closed their doors. There's been a lot of controversy just about them not paying comedians, whether it be headliners, and just making very poor deals with the agencies that they were booking these headliners through. And
being a mess.
Yeah, and then not having the marketing to back up these poor deals that they put themselves in even. Just a lot of shady business dealings. And
that was me, by the way.
Yeah, you did it all.
Like, actually. I did that. I came in January, and it was just like I got to get 5 or 6 venues, right?
Right.
All around, and then
How many headliners a weekend though are you gonna run?
oh man,
Because
well,
if you have 5 or 6 venues, how are you gonna put one comedian, you know, in all of those 5 or 6 venues?
well, you get 2 headliners or 3, depending on how much money you want.
Okay.
And then
That's how you make more money by booking more people you have to pay?
yeah, and then
right,
so
that's
you book
interesting.
more. You book more,
Book more, make more.
right? And what you don't want is people at your shows.
Number
so
one, make sure
if-
they don't know about the shows.
Yes, yeah, if they show up, that's not a problem. Like that's nice. But if you don't want them to know about
Right.
it,
If they show up, we won't turn them away, but we won't show
Yeah.
them the entrance either.
we prefer they stumble upon. You know, they got to stumble upon.
Which, if you do comedy business, if you work in show business at all, especially in comedy, that's the goal.
Yeah.
As little people as possible showing up. It's like golf.
Yeah.
It's like golf.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and then 3 months passed. I was there. I did a whole lot of work. I had a 2-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
My 2-year plan was essentially to, I got this started a little bit earlier, but it was essentially to spend a year getting comics in town booked because there just hasn't really been. I overdid it. I'll say that, but there really hasn't been an avenue for it. You know what I
Right.
mean? For like, just for some people in town to see folks perform in a professional light, right?
Which could have been done, I'll say this in retrospect, could have been done just with like monthly or weekly showcases.
Yeah.
But also, like I'll just giving more insight because if you've listened to the podcast, maybe you've heard us talk about this stuff. We kicked the year off with Eric Griffin.
Mm-hmm. Electric night,
Yes,
dude.
it was multiple electric nights because it started in
Chris Porter.
No, I'm saying it started in Park Theater.
Oh, yeah.
Because that started at Park Theater, but Crest and Comedy started with Chris Porter.
Yep.
Before Eric Griffin came, but right.
Yeah. Well,
and then-
it was like a dry run or something.
Right, and then
thing.
the new year was supposed to be like, boom, groundbreaking or whatever. Yeah. So Dante and I like emceed those shows. Did you feature?
Yes.
And this was supposed to be Full House, Grand Rapids comedy. This is going to be, you're going to see a lot of local talent, which was what it was on the stage, and awesome headliners. That's supposed to be what Full House was supposed to be.
Yeah.
To my knowledge. And that was the goal, with a lot of local talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then my year 2, I was thinking, that's when we kind of expand and get to the point where everyone gets booked.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of in charge of just for a minute there getting the locals on because they didn't know any of them. They didn't know who was funny. They didn't know who had been in the game for a while.
Right.
I think above everything, like it was a big learning experience, and I kind of want to like let people know like if you have something. If you have an idea, because here's what happened to me. This is just comics who are like even here in town or looking to produce something or whatever. My thing was it was strange, but I was able to connect Don with the rooms in Grand Rapids that really just like had bangers of shows, right? And so and I did that actively. I spent a lot of energy on it. I spent a lot of time. I spent probably, there were certain projects that I spent like 40, 50 hours on that just got shelved.
Right.
Because there was like an insistence of like, insisting to be bad almost at certain things. You know what I mean? So
and it felt like that too from just another member of working with the company.
Yeah.
But
and so essentially what I want to say though is like make sure you protect your energy.
That's exactly
make
what
sure
I was
you
gonna
find the people that you trust, and it probably is less people than you think you can trust.
And
so like you really the trust. If you have ideas, I mean, Go ahead.
if you don't do the legwork for others that you could be doing for yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Especially if the moment that you see that energy isn't being reciprocated,
Yeah.
it's you gotta move somewhere else. Because what I needed to do, what I had a vision for, was a partner with money, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, I think we know by now that Creston has it has the potential to be just a great comedy club if they wanted to make it that. Right.
They have a great comedy venue if they want it.
Yep.
And
then
they have a market.
market
That they can reach to, and people that are now upset that there's no longer comedy in that market.
Yes, and that's to say, you know what?
Not to say that there's no longer comedy in that market, but for that neighborhood, you know.
I think there's been a lot of tension on it, and I'm sorry. Is this okay that I talk so freely about?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of like this can happen again. A lot of this and that. Well, here's the thing, man. Like, you just got to be careful with your shit, and also you can take wins from losses. There were some big wins out of it. Like we definitely demonstrated that Grand Rapids, there's room for comedy.
There's room for comedy, and there's locals here that can perform.
Exactly. And you know what? If that's all there is to take from it,
right?
I think that, you know,
I hope the relationships that we've made have proven that, and that stays relevant.
It's just shitty that people got to lose money over it, you know?
Exactly. And the fact that we, like, obviously, not comparing these plights at all, because there's a lot of comedians that are owed money.
Yeah.
And agencies are owed money. So, and I think the agents are more concerned than some of the comedians. But we have also possibly, like, I hope that this is what I was trying to say. I hope the relationships that we've made with not only these comedians but also these venues are not completely tarnished. Because, like I said, by doing the legwork for other people that you should have been doing for yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, but that's pretty much. I think that, you know, it's I don't know. I don't want to make predictions, because then sometimes people just. You ever hear something and you're like, fuck no, it won't be like that. I ain't gonna think like that. I don't want to.
No matter who.
You know what I mean? So let's just let it be what it'll be.
We never know who's listening, but we always assume not many. Especially when Justin's here. I have said this to you before, I think, in person, but your episodes perform like extremely poorly. Like some of the lowest views aren't, like, even less than my solo episodes, which are always the worst.
Damn, dude.
And I just wanted to give you that. I'm kidding. You had one really good one, but the last the one after that was, oof, man.
Ouch. Well,
it's not you, dude. It's my, sorry for startling you. It's not you, man. It's my audience. But we still appreciate you guys.
If you're watching right now, just want to say thanks.
Thank you so much.
If you're watching for me,
yes,
which you are,
we know.
Thanks.
Ooh, that was a lip smacky thanks. I think it was better.
I bet you it sounded real good in Jackie's headphones, dude.
No, Jackie's not listening to headphones back there, dude.
Oh.
Hell no. I do want to bring earphone. I do want to bring headphone monitors back for us, because I feel like it makes me perform better.
Yeah, when you can hear the inflection on your voice. Yeah.
And you know,
yeah. But you don't sound as like you right now. You don't sound. I don't want to have sex with you if I don't hear you with my headphones on.
Right. Well, we can. There's some headphones right there. There's some headphones over there. We can throw some cans on. But I'd rather not.
Yeah, those aren't even. It doesn't even have to be much. It could be like a.
They don't even have to be
whatever they wear in call centers over their heads. I can just get a pair of those. It's fine, dude.
Was that Turtle Beach over there?
Yeah,
just throw it.
Turtle Beach.
It doesn't even have to be plugged in, really. All right. So, have we said all we wanted to say, I guess?
I don't know. Like, I think I'll wait until the next opportunity. I do kind of want to.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Kind of to wrap wrap up that, I guess, because it is wrapping up a chapter in my comedy career. Because through Full House, I did get a lot of opportunities. And thank you to you as well, because I wouldn't have that relationship with that. So also fuck you, but thank you to you, because I wouldn't have had that relationship had it not been for you, and you having faith in me, like to be one of the MCs.
Of course.
And then they went ahead and made someone else club MC, and then when they didn't like that, they brought in someone else from Florida to be the club MC when they just could have saved a lot of money and just asked me to do it. But anyway,
Look, dude,
Dude,
it's not about the money.
no,
It's
clearly,
not about the money,
clearly it's
dude.
not about the money. It's about how many poor business decisions can we make. But I am thankful for all the opportunities I got, and I'm thankful for all of the new followers to the podcast and to my own stuff that I got from those shows. And I thank you for anyone supporting me and anyone who supported coming to those shows. And I'm sorry for anyone who has yet to receive their money, whether it be a refund or a payment for performance. It sucks.
I think this should be said. The staff at Creston and the management, and Quinn over at Midtown, which used to be the listening room.
Yeah. And Brandon over
at Park Theater. The staff over there. I swear to God, if there wasn't,
go ahead.
If there's something that wasn't done wrong, if there's something that was done correctly, it was certainly make connections with the right folks, right?
Yeah.
And so and get into the right venues. It's not easy to serve, and I've never been a server, and I know it's hard already, but I also know there's muscle memory involved with what you do. And if you're a server for this amount of time,
Right.
you have a comedy show, and you legitimately, there are so many things that folks don't want to do because that are necessary to run a good comedy show.
Right.
It's not easy.
But every one of these venues,
Dude, stepped it up hard. It was beautiful.
and every single show had every single one of those venues had multiple sellout shows. Rockford Bar as well, or Rockford Corner Bar.
Yeah.
All of these venues had multiple sold out shows, and the staff handled every single one of them beautifully, very professionally. And for places like Park Theater, we didn't do comedy often, if at all, at Park Theater. So shout out to Brandon, and Brandon will be on the podcast soon. After I get back from Tennessee, and we're going to be talking about more comedy coming to Park Theater. Because these venues also loved having comedy there too, and none of them wanted to see it end like this. So shout out to the Midtown. They are booking either through a different agency or they're booking independently. Park Theater is looking to book independently. Per my last conversation with the staff over there.
But support them whether it's comedy or not, because they've honestly been great, and they really even when shit was going down with me, and I knew
your relationship
at one point,
with Full House.
Yes, because at one point I'll just tell the little piece here, but Keith tried to fight me, right? So I was sitting on a couch. I had a show that I was supposed to be booked on. Doesn't matter. When I ended up leaving, and there was it was just difficult to communicate with the folks over there, even though, I had done so much to go over there. It hurt, but I understood, and I'm glad they moved like they did, because I know I can say this with confidence that the folks over there are professionals. You know what I mean? And so just support them. I think they're going to try to make sure that if you're missing out on comedy and you liked those places to watch it, you're gonna see some more stuff and support them.
Yeah, they're gonna do their best to bring comedy back to West Michigan, just like we are. We're doing our best to bring a good name to West Michigan comedy as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and if there are any people out there who own bowling alleys, you're okay. Just don't book comedy, dude.
Yeah, don't book comedy unless it sounds like a really good deal and you have like a nice room for it.
Yeah.
Like if I come to you, say, BAM in Holland, Michigan, and I say, hey, I think it'd be really great to have like a monthly showcase here in your VIP room. I think that's something you should entertain.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, we got some stuff in the news.
We can cut that last little chunk out if we want. I don't know.
We got some stuff in the news before we pitch a bit.
Ooh, let's pitch a bit.
Exactly how it sounds. It sounds like pitch a fit.
Okay.
But instead of a fit, you can do a bit that you're working on or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But before we get to that, we got the news. Boom, boom, boom,
bow,
bow,
beep, beep,
bow,
beep.
News. What were we just talking about for the news?
I
There's
got
a lot of stuff going on here. As you guys have all heard now, Greta Thunberg has put Andrew Tate in jail. She went to his house in Romania herself, dressed up as a pizza delivery agent.
I mean, in this case.
Yeah, a pizza delivery agent.
Yeah.
And as soon as he answered the door, she put him in handcuffs for tax evasion. No.
Dude, gave him the fucking stone cold stunner.
Yeah, dude, right over the Greta Thunberg and Andrew Tate got into a kerfuffle on Twitter. And it was perfectly timed because as Greta was calling out Andrew Tate's small dick energy, he felt he needed to respond in video, and the video was just dumb, and some people say it was incriminating. I've heard that theory has been debunked, but shortly after the video, him and his brother Tristan Tate were arrested for some say also it was allegedly sex trafficking or sex slavery, which I'm not a doctor, but I don't know if that's true completely. I do know one of them is apparently, I think the sex slavery thing was one of his his women who are earning money online because he has like he runs like a
earning money for him.
Yeah, well, yes.
Okay.
So he like pimps. He pimps women out online. So they produce content online, sexual content, I believe, and then some of them apparently don't receive the money from this.
It is sexual content, folks.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
sure.
To my knowledge, I'm not sure.
They're
I
not
haven't
building fucking spaceship out of Legos.
You know, it would be cool though if they did do some like DIY tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
on TikTok.
Yeah, that would, I guess.
DIY, make your own key and escape your room.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they were locked in a room?
I don't know, dude. I don't know how sex slavery works, but these are the charges.
You're more of
allegedly.
I know. You only have sex indentured servants.
Exactly, dude. I'm totally against slavery, and these people are paying off a debt.
Yeah.
They have
exactly, dude.
Debt, not to me, but to society.
God. You gave him a Ford Ranger.
You had something you wanted to bring up?
Anything else, honestly, dude.
Oh, okay. Your anything else news story? Why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
I heard you wanted to bring up Damar Hamlin.
No, I see. The problem with that is I accidentally said a good bad joke earlier.
I was trying to set you up for the joke again.
All I'm saying is this is a tough story to tackle.
anyways, he's in critical condition, and
He's improving.
he is improving, and we have our thoughts and prayers for the family.
Yeah.
And as this comes out, who knows? He could be a lot better.
At football?
I mean, in condition. I mean,
Oh, okay.
when this episode comes out, he could be doing a lot better, like his condition.
Yeah. Thought you meant he was going to be like an all-star.
Well, I mean, maybe
He could be. I would.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
just
know.
a
We'll see
little-
what's good. I'm glad that he's doing better.
it's just a little heart thing, dude.
No,
Oh,
it's cardiac arrest.
was that a little leg thing? No, it's a little heart thing.
Okay. What's a big heart thing?
I think a stroke is worse.
Yeah.
Or
Long-term effects.
total heart failure.
Yeah. Dying.
Yeah, when it stops,
Mm-hmm.
that's also major. Well, I mean, which it did for a bit, actually.
Yeah, they had to give him. They had to revive him twice. Or is that what you call it?
No.
Resuscitate.
Defibrillate?
Resuscitate.
I mean, maybe, yeah. That is, yeah, I guess.
Revive seems like they're like doing witchcraft.
Revive to me seems like they're playing laser tag or Call of Duty.
There you
Revive
go.
me. Revive me.
There you go. There you go.
Laser tag was the Energize. You remember?
Yeah.
Anyways. Any
No, I
other news
don't.
stories for you, bud?
I didn't have that kind of stuff.
Tory Lanez
Ooh.
was recently found guilty, I
Of
believe,
dropping bangers. Oh, sorry.
and also shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot,
Yeah.
and maybe beating what's her friend's name? Never mind, dude. I shouldn't have even brought the part I don't know about up. But the part that has been proven is
According to a jury of his peers.
yes, is his guilt.
I think it should have to be a jury of your like professional peers. I want
Just
Snoop Dogg.
rappers?
Yeah, I want, Snoop Dogg, who else? KRS-One, Criss Cross in there, dude.
So is it like elders? Is that what you're saying? Is that where you're aiming at?
I can't even picture Criss Cross's elders.
Cr-
but-
that's very funny as well. But yeah, no, it should be like Dr. Dre, like all the old heads are in there. Jay-Z. These are the because
Tekashi
it's a
6ix9ine,
colored
too.
it's a colored pass too.
Yeah. What?
I'm saying
What did you just say?
I'm saying they all have things on their record. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. You relax. And Black history. But
Black people can be racist.
that's
guys,
also-
just so you know.
also, isn't that funny to say someone has a colored past? I think it's called a checkered past. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
I don't know.
Is the phrase a
I
color?
knew what you meant.
I know. Jackie, it is
Checkered
checkered,
past.
but is colored past still a thing too? Maybe. So I'll take that. Yeah, I know. I know checkered past. Well, I don't think you can say colored pass. I'll say that right now. I think you guys do. You guys don't have a colored pass, huh? How about that?
I have
All
a
right.
colored future, whatever that means.
I think it's pronounced collared future.
Oh yeah. Collard greens.
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting at. I don't. Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's all we got on the Tory Lanez thing. Sorry, Meg, but I'm glad justice was served. All right, we can pitch a bit.
Pitch a bit.
I got a new bit I'm working on.
Let's hear it, dude.
You want to hear mine first?
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it's important to support your crazy friends whenever they have a dream, no matter what the dream is. I had a friend who in high school wanted to drop out our junior year to become a music producer and a rapist, and we thought you probably shouldn't drop out of school. That seems pretty far fetched, but he was like, no, I want to devote all my time to this, and school's holding me back because all I can think about is this dream, just writing music and producing music. And we're like, all right, man, whatever. You can work a fast food job and then devote all your time to that. And then he did that for years, about 5 years. And then like 2 years ago, he just burned everything. Like all of his musical work, he just burned it all and chopped all his hair off. And that's why it's important to support your friends. Because if we hadn't supported him, it could have been like the whole house or something.
Jesus. Wait, so he chopped his hair off?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he wanted a new beginning.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand that. I do that with my beard sometimes.
Yeah. And I feel like if he does listen to this podcast, I love you, but I don't think like you do. But if you do, text me. I have your number now. Anyways.
Always got to support dreams.
Yeah, support your dreams. It could save their lives.
Okay.
Anyways.
So at the risk of sounding...
Go ahead. Sorry.
At the risk... This is... Okay, so this is actually just the thought. So this will be a fun time to actually talk this out to somebody and have the energy.
Right.
But, at the risk of sounding racist, I think it's weird how, professional athletes are the most like fine-tuned individuals, their body from top to bottom, the most physically capable people.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing is just playing with some balls, and we're just like watching them do it. We're dumping so much money into this, and I'm not saying
they do the same thing as fourth graders,
right?
Yeah,
but it's like and it's not that like they shouldn't be making the money they're making, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you should just use their bodies for whatever you want, because that's slavery, and I don't think there should be slavery,
right?
Or the most physically fit people being just professional athletes. All I'm saying is somewhere in between.
I'm not a fan of either, but can we find a happy medium?
How about a fucking compromise around here?
Can we employ them to be firefighters?
Exactly, dude, I'll pay you $1.2 million to change a power line or something, whatever that is. That's fine, dude. If you're, because that's
less accidents for the people who aren't physically equipped.
Yes,
I'm on board fully.
Cool.
Yeah, just can I pay you to do like a public servant's job, but like pay you a lot?
Yeah.
Can I pay you the same amount and take you from football to firefighting?
I bet you if there was no basketball, we would watch the fuck out of LeBron James climbing a pole. We would do that, dude.
And sliding down it.
Just
Amen.
like they can race.
Race to the fire?
Yeah.
Or race the suspect?
Yeah.
Dude, there'd be so many more foot pursuits.
Yeah.
And it'd be like NFL highlights of foot chases,
Yeah. I think the bad part about that theory though is it just kind of ends up being racist no matter what, because
I think more black cops is not racist.
Luka Doncic, he just ends up being like an insurance agent. Like I can't really see him climbing a pole like that.
You're like his athleticism doesn't quite lend itself to scaling a building. Maybe
he's just shifty.
Maybe
he just moves around good.
Maybe he can move money around good. Maybe he should be
exactly
a personal accountant.
Or we won't go there.
I don't know what you're saying. Anyways,
never mind.
Anyways, if you would like to see me do comedy live, I'll be in Tennessee actually. January 11th, I'll be at the Bowery Vault in Nashville. And then I'll be bopping around some mics down there too. So check me out on Instagram, _Hunter Miles. I'll be posting about where I'm going. You can also follow me on Facebook, Hunter Miles Comedy, as well as TikTok, Hunter Miles Comedy. And other than that, yeah, all my other shows are like this week, and I don't have much, booked yet for the upcoming months here in, except for, I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. My bad. Art Battle, February 18th in Grand Rapids at Zeal Aerial Fitness. You can check out Art Battle Grand Rapids or artbattle.com. Or I think it's Grand Rapids Art Battle. I keep doing this on Instagram. But check it out. I'll be emceeing that as well again. Yeah, thank you so much. Justin, any shows coming up that you can remember?
Nobody's listening to this.
You're right.
I'll be catch me. Look at straight White Mayo on whatever you're on, and you'll see me. You'll see me. You'll see what I got coming up. And to keep tradition here, I just want to say, make sure you protect your money, your energy, your time. Surround yourself with people you trust.
Yep.
And don't get pregnant.
Amen.
Don't get pregnant.
And if you would like to, you can still check out.
I can't say that anymore.
You don't get pregnant?
Yeah, that was something that I would always say, but since Roe
v. Wade,
I should stop saying that.
Yeah, anyways. Well,
But still.
No, I think if anything, it's more important now than ever to not get pregnant. But also, we did our thing. We came out and voted Michigan, so we appreciate you. Anyways, go out and
Speak for yourself.
Go out and check out, download an Apple on the Highest Branch on, I almost said on Instagram, on Spotify by the Fever Haze. Available on iTunes, Spotify. Is that also on Bandcamp? And Bandcamp. Support your local artists. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you email us. Listen to the podcast. Do what you can. Tell your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Love you.